So on the LOHA website, there's quite a lot of resources on there to help parents, including some ebooks that they can download for free. And I think one of the things parents are concerned about, particularly at this time of year, is when their children are transitioning between primary school and secondary school. So can you tell us a little bit about the ebook that you've written to support parents and, you know, what they could do at this time coming into the summer holidays to help their teens with that transition?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the ebook really sort of spells out, you know, what some of the issues and some of the problems are that the young person is facing, in terms of the fact that, you know, they're not only changing schools where they've been the biggest child, where they're sort of known by everybody at the school, and they're suddenly going to a secondary school where they're going to be the smallest and probably the least well known of the children and young people involved. And also, of course, they're pre-puberty. They're coming into the time when their bodies are changing. It's got effects on their sort of on them psychologically, and the way that they're developing. So it's a time of massive change and massive transition, and obviously that has impacts on and repercussions for all the family. And so one of the things that I would say is really important at that time is to really still keep that connection with the young person, because they will want to distance themselves. Their friends become increasingly more important to them, but what you've got to remember is that you're really important to them as well, still as a parent. And I would say, you know, try and maintain that connection, be very sort of non-judgmental, and come at everything with a curiosity, because that curiosity will really keep the connection.
I love that word, curiosity. And since you've been working together, I use that with my daughter as well. And it's just such a magic word to take a step back if you're in conflict or anything, or if you get asked an awkward question, which we know that kids like to do all of the time. It's just take that moment and be curious and say, oh, I'm interested, like what makes you say that or think that? And that in itself just opens up a connection, and you get to find out a lot of things that you might not otherwise have thought of. So yeah, I think that curiosity is so important. And
yeah, absolutely, because curiosity really helps you sort of find out what the person's thinking. It gives you a chance to put right any thoughts that they're having that you know aren't either right or aren't appropriate. You can begin to talk through with them the sort of repercussions of some of their thinking. So I just think it's a massively underutilised skill that we all don't use enough, because we all make judgments about what's in front of us. We couldn't be curious about absolutely everything. We would just drive ourselves bonkers. But one of the things I think is really important is in our close relationships always to remain curious, trying to understand what's driving particular behaviours, what's driving particular thinking and thought patterns.